Okay, this is visible to everyone.
Sir, please start recording.
It is started. Okay, at this point. One moment. Okay, this screen is visible to everyone. This time complexity.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yesterday we have a discussion on the types of recursive algorithms, and we discussed about basically five type of recursions. That is simple recursion, this one, direct recursion, indirect recursion. Then we talked about the linear recursion, non-linear recursion. बोल बोल तो क्लास चल रही है मेरी. Then we talked about this particular non-linear recursion, and then we have tail recursion, and then we have this non-tail recursions, right? So all five type of recursions we have discussed. Now today formally we are going to start with this particular time complexity. For the last 1 week or 1.5 week, we are saying that the ultimate goal of this particular discussion is to reach to the time complexity. So now gradually we are moving toward this particular time complexity. Now we have an idea about the type of algorithms, what are the different kinds of algorithms we have, and how we are going to and why we are going to find their time complexities, why we are interested in this particular topic. So, and how we are going to find and what are the different kinds of time complexities we have. So in a very layman fashion, rather than formally defining it, let's first define it in a very layman fashion, then formally we are going to define. So what is the time complexity? The time, the amount of time that an algorithm takes to run almost always depends on the amount of input data that it must process. Yes?
Yes, sir.
What's the problem? Some sir problem continue है इस error. Uh, okay. So the amount of time that any algorithm is going to take is almost dependent on what factor, that is the input size. So whatever the how much amount of input you are supplying to that particular algorithm, that the complexity, the time taken by that particular algorithm will depend on that particular input size. So the running time of algorithm thus is a function of input size. Okay. Now, so we must need to know with which inputs the algorithm takes less time and with which inputs the algorithm will take long time in order to analyze a particular algorithm. So this is our point of interest. We must know with what particular type of input the algorithm is going to take a shorter time, and with what, how, meaning how the algorithm is behaving as the size of this particular input is increasing or decreasing. This is our point of interest. So an algorithm can be represented in form of an expression like n for 2n square 100n plus 500. Can we write it as an equivalent to n4? Can we write it? That means that we represent the algorithm with multiple expressions, one for the case where it takes the less time and another for the case where it takes the more time. So given a particular algorithms, can we represent that particular algorithm as a function of time? For example, we have taken this particular algorithm A and that particular algorithm is going to take this much amount of time where n is the input size. So if I am going to increase this particular n, I am going to increase this particular n approaching towards a very large inputs, then can I write this particular dependency as n raised to power 4? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Because
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
because at the larger, at the very high n values, these will be negligible in comparison to this particular n raised to power 4. It will be in a higher factor, so we can write it. So now the point of interest is that anyhow we have to come to the way through which we can show that okay, this is the dependency of the input size on the algorithm's complexity, on the times complexity of a particular algorithm. So the first case is there are three ways. Basically there are three ways through which we can represent the complexity of an algorithm. The first case is called the best case, the second case is called the worst case, and in between we have one another case, that is the average case. Okay, so to analyze an algorithm, we need some kind of syntax, and that forms the base for asymptotic analysis or notations. There are basically three kind of analysis that we have to perform as far as the time complexity of algorithm is concerned. What are these three cases? We will talk about the worst case, we will talk about the best case and average case. So let me give a very small example. We have some numbers. Let us suppose this is 259803. Okay, so this is a number list, and maybe it is being stored in some linked list or some array type of thing. So the question is, can you find the index where 3 is present? Can you find the index where 3 is present? So how much time it will take to find the number 3 in this particular array or in this particular list? So obviously it will depend. It will depend on what? Whether this particular 3 is present in the last, or whether this particular 3 is present at the starting of this particular list. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes,
The
sir.
time, the time will change. The time will change. So let us suppose we just try to find, we are standing at this particular point and we try to find 3. Is 3 is present? No. Is 3 is present? No. So we keep on traversing from this particular, and we just reach to up to from here to here to here up to this point. So if this list consists of n numbers, or it is a very large list where n is approaching to infinity, then you will say, see sir, how much time I am going to take in order to find this particular number 3. It will be a worst case if the number 3 is present in the last of this particular list, at the last of this particular list. So that is in a very layman fashion we can say what is the worst case. Worst case is actually the the bad case. How much the maximum time your algorithm is going to take in order to solve a particular problem. Are you following this? The very bad time, or the maximum time. So given a particular input for which the algorithm takes a long time, the slowest time to complete. Are you following? So how much time it will take in this particular array? If this is a linear, it is a linear fashion, it means that it depends on the number of inputs. If it is present at this particular point, then it has to traverse how many elements? N elements in order to find this particular 3. So it means that this in the linear fashion, the time complexity in the worst case, in the very bad case, if we are not lucky and the 3 will be present at the last, then it will take approximately how much amount of time? It will take nearly of order of what? N factor. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So formally we have not defined till now what is worst case, but yes, in a layman fashion we can think about the worst case is something a bad case for us, meaning maximum. This is the maximum amount of time you are saying, see sir, 50 hours is the maximum time I am defining for you, after which you will definitely find this particular element 3. You can find it before 50 hours, but 50 is the maximum one. So this is, in a very layman fashion, this is what we call as the worst case, the maximum amount, that is a long time a particular algorithm will take depending on the particular inputs. So input is one of the is one for which the algorithm runs the slowest. So this is the worst case. Now the second type of case we have, what is, that is the best case. So what is the best case? When you will find in a minimum time the element 3, when the 3 will be present at the first position, beginning of the list. So you immediately will find and will say, okay, see, I just found the 3. I just started my loop and I just found the 3 at the beginning of the list. So that's wonderful. It means that you are not going to traverse the whole list. So that is what we call as the best case. In a best case, the best time, the time when you are going to find the element 3 in the beginning of the list, that is what we call as the beginning. See, this is an example. I am not saying that you have to do something at the beginning. No, this is just for the sake of example I am giving like this. So what is the best case then? Define the input for which the algorithm takes the least time, fastest time to complete. Okay, input is one of the which the algorithm runs the fastest. Then average is a type of mix of the worst and the best case, provide a prediction about the running time of an algorithm. This is okay on an average. In general fashion, you will say, okay, how much time it will take to reach from Delhi to Sonipat. So what you will say, I think on an average you will take 1 hour, 1.5 hour, but we are not very much specific. We are not saying, okay, not more than 3 hours you are going to take from Delhi to Sonipat. This is the way we are saying when we talk about the distance. Or we will say, okay, definitely in 30 minutes you will reach. But generally speaking, what you will say, okay, I think on an average you will take approximately 30 to 40 seconds. Yes. So it is a kind of prediction about the running time of algorithm. So run the algorithm many times using many different inputs that come from one distribution that generates these inputs, compute the total running time by adding the individual time and divide it by the number of trials. So this is what we call the average case. So what does it mean? It means that you have some algorithm A, you want to find the running time of this. So what you will do? You can generate random numbers of number of inputs. For example, you generated 1000 inputs, and for each input you are trying to feed this particular algorithm, and you are going to find the time. Then for the second input you will find the time. Let us suppose T1, let us suppose T2, T3, and so on up to Tn. Then you are going to find the total running time for all these inputs and divide it by the average. That is simple average, right? That is the number of trials. So in that case, it will take, on an average, my algorithm is going to take this amount of time. So we are not very much interested in this particular average case. What we are interested in finding the worst case and the best case complexities. Why we are interested in finding the worst and the best case? Because we just want to know, okay, given a particular algorithm, can you tell me how much time I have to sit on my table and will wait for the result to come out? So you will say, see sir, in the worst case, I promise you that you do not need to sit on your table for more than 5 hours. But in the another case, you are saying, sir, I am saying that you will definitely get, if you are lucky, then definitely you will get these results in only 1 hour. So that's why we are just very much interested in this worst case and the best case scenarios. Are you following this? Should we move? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Till now we have not formally defined any mathematical expression for the worst case, best case, and average cases, but It's just a general discussion. It's just general idea. What does it mean by the best case, worst case, and kind of average cases? अभी तो हमने कोई formula definition नहीं दी है. We will see it now. Types of analysis now. See, so we have the lower bound, we have some upper bound, and in between we have some average time. So you can think about in this way also. So what is the worst case? The worst case, the algorithm will not take more than this upper bound. Yes or no? In worst case. Yes, beta. If we have some
Yes, sir.
time frame, let us starting it from 1 hour to 50 hours. My algorithm will not take more than this. This is the upper bound. So this is the worst case that algorithm will take in order to solve a particular problem. So we are going to bound my problem in between the lower bound and the upper bound. If I will say that my algorithm will not take more than this particular upper bound time, then this is the worst case that you are talking. My algorithm will not take lesser than this particular lower bound, then this is what we call as the best case that we are talking. My algorithm will take something in between of the lower and the upper bound, and that something is a kind of average of the lower and the upper bounds, somewhere in between here or something here or maybe something here. Such amount of time my algorithm will take. So such kind of time is what we call as a time average case of time that my algorithm will take. So are you following this? Yes or no? Okay. Now for a given algorithm, we represent the best case, worst case, and average case in form of the expression. Generally, we will follow this approach. Whatever the time that we want to represent, whether average, whether worst, whether best cases, we just use the cases in form of these expressions, mathematical expressions. An example, let us fn be the function which represents a given algorithm. Okay, so this particular function is dependent on what? The input size. So for a particular algorithm A, let us suppose this particular algorithm is going to take how much time? N square plus 500. This much amount of time it is going to take. So is this an expression or not? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Can I
Yes,
represent
sir.
this expression as a function? F of n, this particular expression is a function of n. Can I write it like this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my algorithm A that I have devised using some protocols that we have discussed already, that how you are going to devise your algorithm, and then later on you are analyzing it mathematically and you are saying, see sir, I have analyzed, I have applied some mathematical techniques and I found that my algorithms is dependent on the input size n, and how it is being dependent, it is dependent in this fashion, using this particular fashion. Whatever the inputs you are supplying, you just need to square them, and then you need to add a constant factor 500. Then you will able to find that in worst case, the maximum time my algorithm will take in order to solve this particular problem P. This is the maximum amount of time it will take. That is the worst case. That is the worst time. In another case, you are saying, sir, or maybe I will ask you, okay, this is the worst case, Siddharth, but I am interested. Can you tell me in what minimum time you can have the solution for your problem? Then you are saying, sir, okay, I have analyzed it and I found that this is the minimum time I will produce the solution for this particular algorithm, 100 n plus 500. So this is the best case. So if you will compare, then this particular worst case is always bigger than this particular best case. Similarly, for the average case, the expression defines the input with which the algorithm takes the average running time or the memory. Somewhere between these expressions. This is the upper bound, this is the lower bound, and average case is something in between. Now are you following this or not?
Yes,
Just
sir.
Yes,
Vansh, Siddhant, everybody, yes. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, now. Sorry. Formally, sir, formally now we just need to, proceed to how actually we are going to count the algorithm complexities. So there are certain ways. In fact, there are many ways to calculate the time complexities. So they are formal. There are some ways that we need to discuss. The first way is that counting the steps in algorithm. You just need to count the number of steps. Did you remember about this particular RAM model? What we have done there? We have counted the number of steps. Yes or no? And for each test, we are assigning some cost, unit cost. Did you remember that or not? Yes, beta. Am I audible?
सर आपकी स्क्रीन फ्रीज हो रही है सर ये बदलिए आपने यही है स्क्रीन
Nee, what is visible? Counting steps in algorithm. This is visible.
सर टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी विजिबल है सर
टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी विजिबल केवल एक सेकंड रुको ये वाला पार्ट विजिबल नहीं है टाइम टाइप्स ऑफ एनालिसिस
हाँ सर
ये आपने अभी मैंने बताया ये आपको विजिबल नहीं था
नहीं सर
अरे तो बेटा
नहीं तो कंफ्यूज हो रहा था सर तभी हो रहा था सर
ये वाला तो था सब विजिबल था ये वाला तो
बेटा जिन लोगों में विजिबल नहीं है वो अपना सिस्टम को चेक करो देखो कुछ लोगों को विजिबल है इसका मतलब विजिबल तो है ऐसा नहीं है तो जिन लोगों को विजिबल नहीं आ रहा यू जस्ट ट्राई टू अपडेट योर सिस्टम जिन लोग सब काफी लोगों को विजिबल था ये चीज टाइप्स ऑफ एनालिसिस यस
यस सर
बेटा किसको
Yes,
विजिबल
sir.
हाँ किसको विजिबल नहीं था ये बताओ
हमें सर
किसको शुभम को
रितेश कुमार सर
रितेश रितेश आप बेटा अपने सिस्टम को एक बार थोड़ा सा अपडेट करो कौन सा ब्राउजर यूज कर रहे हो या मोबाइल फोन यूज कर रहे हो
नहीं सर क्रोम यूज कर रहे हैं लैपटॉप की
तो बेटा कौन सा वर्जन है क्रोम का उसको अपडेट करो
सर करते हैं आज देखते हैं
है ना या एक काम करो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एज है आप में इसमें
क्या करें सर
माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एज
नो सर
ब्राउजर एक माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एज जो है ब्राउजर डाउनलोड कर लो उससे भी
ओके सर
मुझे नहीं लगता उससे कोई तकलीफ होगी आपको या क्रोम को भी अपडेट कर लो ठीक है
थैंक यू सर
so where we are talking about these types of analysis okay now counting so yes so we discussed about this particular RAM model from there did you remember that we talked about okay what the RAM model tells us okay we have unit cost unit steps you just count these steps and for each particular steps you need to find the unit cost for a particular steps we have the unit cost and then whatever the total number of steps we are just going to sum them and we will say okay this is the amount of time your algorithm will take so initially we discussed about this RAM did you remember that
यस सर
okay so now extending this particular RAM model only now we have to count the number of steps in algorithms and gradually we will see what is the time complexity okay so counting the number of steps that are used by a given algorithm to perform a given task so what are the steps find the steps per execution for one execution you just need to find what are the number of steps and their frequency frequency meaning for how much time that particular step is repeating in your program in your algorithm or the number of times of statement so what you have to do find the steps and the frequency of the statements your algorithm consists of these statements statement number 1 statement number 2 statement number 3 for this particular step you just need to find okay how many times it is being executed in your algorithm maybe it is executing for only one time maybe it is executed for 100 times because you have put these particular steps in loop for loop or while condition something like that So for each and every steps you have to perform this particular step counting. Then for executable statements, number of steps is 1, and for non-executable statement the number of steps is 0. So we have to assign, if a statement is an executable statement, then we have to put 1 in front of that. If it is non-executable, then it is 0. What is non-executable? Something like we have put this curly braces. We do not need to execute this. So for this we have 0 step. What is executable? For example, we in algorithm we have written x equals to x plus 10. This is executable. Are you following this? For this statement we have to write 1. Okay. So this number only varies when the function is involved. So maybe we are not going to put 1 or 0 when the functions are involved. Okay. Or composite structures are processed. Example, if we have this particular written statement, something a plus b plus c, it is counted as 1 step. But for such kind of statement, a equals to a plus n, because n is a variable here, is not counted as a step 1. So we are not going to put 1 in front of this. We will see one example. So just follow these protocols first, then we will discuss the example. If a function is invoked, then the step count depends on the size of the function. Okay. So these are four protocols that we need to follow. What other guidelines we have in order to measure the step counts? Declarative statements with no initialization have 0 step count. For example, we have declared int I. So this int I, we are going to assign 0 here. But if I am going to declare int I equals to 0, or in fact in the algorithm we do not need to specify the data type. So if we have declared I equals to 0, then for this is 1 step count. Are you following this?
Yes, sir.
1. Comments,
Yes, sir.
comments, brackets such as begin, and, if, and, while have a step count of 0. Expressions have the step count of 1. So if we have some expression x square plus 5x plus 3, you just need to write the step count as 1. Assignment statements, function invocation, return statement, and the break, continue, go have the step count of 1. If we are going to write, okay, there is a function call of f of 3, then this is a step count of what? 1. There is some return statement, return what? 4. This is step count 1. Break, this is step count 1. Okay. Shall we move?
Yes, sir.
Now see the example. You have devised one algorithm. The name of the algorithm is simple. It is going to take A, B, C as input. You started your algorithm with the begin and the end, and this is your logic that you have put. So now observe this particular table, how we have found these step counts. Step number 1. What is step number 1? Algorithm simple. Step per execution, we do not need to execute it. Step count is 0. Step per execution. Frequency, we do not need to specify because this is just a kind of notation. Step number 2, we started with the begin. If we will follow the protocols, then we will find that this begin and if else will have step count of 0. So this begin is 0. It is not going to execute it. The frequency is nothing. Step number 3. So let me write it. This is number 2, this is 3, this is 4, 5 and 6. So step number 3. A is equals to B plus 1. Assignment statement. Step per execution is 1. How many times it is repeated? Nothing. It is only for one time. Total is 1. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Step number 4. C is equals to A plus 2. Frequency, steps or count. This is just a kind of assignment statement, sir. Step per execution is 1. Frequency, only one time. This is 1. Step number 5. Again same. 1, 1. Total is 1. And step count is 0. And frequency is nothing. So how much time? How much total steps we have? 3 steps. So it means that total time. Yes beta.
सर एक बार ये बिगिन और एंड में फ्रीक्वेंसी क्यों नहीं आई वो बता दीजिए।
क्या? What? Repeat.
सर ये बिगिन और एंड में फ्रीक्वेंसी क्यों नहीं आई? यहाँ पे भी तो 1 1 आ सकता है।
कहाँ पे बेटा? ये हमने रूल्स को फॉलो करो ना इधर. Comments, brackets such as begin, and, if, and, while have a step count of 0. Yes.
ये सर स्टेप काउंट तो 0 हो गया, बट फ्रीक्वेंसी में तो एक बार तो वो आया ही है ना।
फ्रीक्वेंसी में आया है. अरे बेटा फ्रीक्वेंसी में क्यों लिखेंगे हम? हमने ये जब एग्जीक्यूट ही नहीं करने तो फ्रीक्वेंसी काहे की होगी फिर? जब आप किसी चीज को टच ही नहीं कर रहे तो किस चीज की फ्रीक्वेंसी की बात कर रहे हो? यस और नो? बताओ. जब आपने किसी चीज को टच ही नहीं किया और आप कह रहे हो नहीं सर मैं इसके साथ प्ले करूंगा, ऐसे कैसे होगा भाई? पहले उसको टच करो तभी तो उसके साथ आप रिपीट कर पाओगे चीजें. आपने यहाँ पे 0 स्टेप काउंट्स है, तब आपने वहां पे उसको वो आपके लूप में या आपके प्रोग्राम के अंदर वो चीज आई नहीं, तो हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट द फ्रीक्वेंसी? फ्रीक्वेंसी तो उन चीजों की होती है जो हमने एक बार विजुलाइज किया हो, एक बार उसको टच किया हो, एक बार उससे निकले हो. यस. Yes or no? Should we proceed?
यस सर।
Okay. So now,
सर जिसको हम स्टेप में काउंट करेंगे उसको फ्रीक्वेंसी में काउंट करेंगे।
नहीं बेटा अभी एग्जांपल देखेंगे. जैसे मैं अगर आपको बोलता कि a is equals to b plus 1, so this particular statement you have to execute. After begin I am writing for I is equals to 1 to n. So this is for loop and then this is the end of for loop up to this point. So how many times this will be repeated? Tell me. Step count is 1, but how many
N
times it is
times.
repeated? N plus
10
1.
times,
What is
10
n?
plus
Go with the for looping concept. कंपैरिजन तो होगा ना बेटा इसका n plus 1 टाइम तक.
yes sir।
Okay, so then frequency will be in the step count I will write 1 and the frequency I will write n plus 1. Are you following this? This is the meaning of frequency. And total will be? Yes or no?
yes sir।
चलो ये इतना एग्जांपल समझ में आया. पहले ये बताओ, इसका भी बात करेंगे अभी, फ्रीक्वेंसी का इस तरह का एग्जांपल. इतना बात समझ में आ रही है? बताओ ये सब. तो नाउ व्हाट वी हैव ऑब्जर्व, that is this particular observation. See, we have given 3 inputs a, b, c, and with these n inputs, what is our total time? That is a 3. What is a 3? 3 is a constant value. Yes or no? So key observation is
Yes.
that algorithm computes a fixed number of computation irrespective of the algorithm input size. Such kind of algorithm is what we call as a constant time algorithm. So this is an example of this particular constant time. So whatever the type of inputs you are supplying, it is not dependent on the size of this particular input, but it is always a type of constant it is producing. So such type of algorithm in this example is what we call as, see, it is a constant time. It does not depend on the input. Whatever kind of input you just supply, the logic is such that the steps that I have put inside my algorithm is such that it is always going to produce the result in some constant amount of time. Maybe you will consider this as a 3 hour, you are going to consider it as a 3 minutes, or maybe consider it as 3 seconds. These units are immaterial for us. So what is material for us is, this is 3. 3 is a constant. So maybe I will say, is this particular problem is solvable or not? When I am going to say a particular problem is solvable, when it is going to produce its result in some definite amount of time. So maybe in this particular it is 3, or maybe it will come 5, or it may become 500, or it may come 5 lakh. But all these values are always a constant. It is representing a constant. Definitely after some time, that constant time, we will definitely get the result. So definitely this particular problem is a solvable problem. So from here you get an idea of a solvable type of problem. Okay. So the constant time algorithms are easy to compute as they are independent of the input size. These algorithms are traceable or solvable. So there are two terms. So why we are talking about the traceability? Because see, maybe in your algorithms, fifth semester we'll talk about the types of problem, NP problems, NP complete problems, the problems that are not solvable, and how we are going to devise the algorithm for the problems which are not solvable. What kind of algorithms we have? So we categorize the problems into different categories at a type of solvable, not solvable problem, traceable, intractable problems. So this is a kind of solvable problem example, or we call as a tractable problem or traceable problem. So tractable and traceable is something, the problem which we can track. It means the whole solution is going to be come out in fixed amount of time. So this point is clear to everybody or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now coming to the second, counting the step in algorithm. Now we are given this particular algorithm beta, this algorithm. Just try to see the step counts and the frequencies. Begin is 0, frequency is nothing, total count is 0. This is sum. What we have done here? We have initialized. For the initialization is 1. If we are not going to initialize it, what is the step count?
Sir, 0.
0.
0.
Okay, frequency nothing, it is 1. For I equals to 1 to n, what you have to do? You have to perform sum equals to sum plus 1 and end. So what is the frequency of this particular 1? How many times the for loop is going to repeat it? N plus 1.
n+1.
That is total count is n plus 1. How many times this particular statement inside the for loop is repeating? This is a type of assignment type of statement. So 1. And how many times frequency it is repeating? N times, it is n. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
For and 0, for and 0, 0. Return statement 1, 1, 1. And statement 0, 0, 0. Total is how much time? 2n plus 3. So it means that this particular total time Tn, given some inputs to this algorithm, meaning this particular sum is for some inputs n, then the total time is dependent according to this particular step counting method. The total time it is going to take is 2n plus 1. So what is your observation? The time is dependent on what? This particular n or not? So there is a dependency of this particular time on n value. So it is a dependent, and it is not a constant time of algorithm. It depends. So whenever this n is approaching to a larger number, can we write this particular as n?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what are the key observation? Algorithm complexity is a function of input size. This is true in this case. Which is a polynomial in nature. Okay. So such kind of algorithm is what we call the polynomial time of algorithm. Solvable in a polynomial time. In the previous example, this is also a solvable problem, solvable type of algorithm, but it is producing the result in what? Constant time. It is also a solvable kind of problem or solvable algorithm, but it is producing the result in polynomial time. Are you following this? Yes. So step number 1, 3, 5 are non-executable. All these we have counted. Okay. Disadvantage. Advantage is implement to analyze. So through this we can analyze this. So why we are doing all such kind of things? So what is the advantage? See, even before actual implementation of this logic in C language or in Java, you are doing some kind of mathematical analysis. And through this mathematical analysis, you come to the conclusion, see, the time complexity, whenever this particular program will be implemented in the C language and it will run on my system, definitely it is going to produce the result in comparison, what we will say, in a order of this particular size of this particular input. So if I am going to give only 2-3 numbers to this particular algorithm, then it will take lesser time. But whenever I am going to supply 1000, 2000, 3000 numbers to this particular implementation as a input, as a user I am going to supply some inputs, then my algorithm, my implementation program is going to take how much time? It is depending on how much numbers I have supplied to this particular algorithm. So this is the kind of analysis that you are doing. But somehow, if you are saying, sir, I have done a lot of mathematical analysis and I found that this is turns out to be 2 raised to power n. So would you implement this in your programming, in your C language, Java language? Would you try to implement this or not? For n is equals to larger values. Yes, beta. Am I audible?
सर रिपीट कर दो सर, क्या बता
हम ये बोल रहे हैं, अगर आपने अपने एनालिसिस के साथ ये बोला कि सर मैंने पूरा एनालिसिस किया है इसी मेथड से और मेरी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी तो कितनी आ रही है, ये जो टोटल काउंट आ रही है 2 रेज़्ड टू पावर n आ गया है सर। तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है आपसे, क्या आप इसको सी लैंग्वेज में इंप्लीमेंट करोगे? और मैं बोलता हूं कि आपको जो ये n वैल्यू जो है 1000 रखनी है।
नहीं करेंगे सर।
No, sir.
क्या आर्ग्यूमेंट, आपका आर्ग्यूमेंट क्या होगा? व्हाट इज योर आर्ग्यूमेंट?
Will take a long time to execute.
हाँ, you simply say, sir, there are two ways. There are some people, there are some students who will say, forget about this analysis, what we have to do, we are a very good programmer, we know C and Java, we are expert in this. They will directly come to this particular algorithm and they try to implement in the C language, and then their computer will hang. So because now, why? Because they are over smart, very over smart. Before analysis of the algorithm, they try to implement it, and they come, their whole computer become hang. Why hang? Because all the memory resources are being consumed in this particular algorithm running only. It is going to hang, meaning it is going to take larger amount of time, but your examination time is only 3 hours. I am saying you have to produce the results in 3 hours, and you are saying, sir, my implementation is totally correct, it will definitely produce the result. But my dear, your time is over. Examination is only for the 3 hours, and the 3 hours, can you solve this for n is equals to 1000 or not? You just tell this thing. You will say, yes sir, maybe it will take a longer time, but definitely it will produce a result. No, I am not saying this. I am saying you have to produce the result within the 3 hours, within the limited time. So now can you see the importance of this mathematical analysis before implementation?
Yes, sir.
So that's why, that is the important part. That's why we talk about what is the complexity. Whenever you are going to devise an algorithm, then even in your competitions, in your different type of hackers rank competitions, you will be asked, okay, what is the time complexity of algorithm? How much time you are saying student A has solved this problem in this particular time. I am going to put, or I am going to devise algorithm that is going to solve this particular problem in a constant time. Then your solution will be acceptable, because constant time is always better than polynomial time. This constant is always better than this particular polynomial time. So this is the overall story. So why we are interested in this particular topic? Okay, so this is the major advantage, and disadvantage, slight disadvantage is that this particular method that we are following, and we are saying, okay, through this, don't you see this is a very longer method, it's a very large method. This is the one disadvantage. And the second is that whenever we have such kind of assignments, you just do such kind of assignment as equals to a is equals to a plus 10, or you will add this particular a is, rather than adding the 10, you are just adding this big number, the step count remains same. So this is a slight disadvantage. We must have some mechanism that, okay, for this, if you are saying this is 1, then at least for this larger number you should at least say this is 1.542. Yes or no? But in this method we are just saying for both these we are going to consider this particular as 1. So this is not a logical way of assigning or calculating these step counts.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, beta.
So why are we counting the frequency of step 3 and step 4 separately?
Step 3 and
Step 4.
step.
Why are we counting the frequency of these steps separately?
Reason being is, see, whenever you are going to implement this, so how you are going to implement this? You are going to write the for loop here. So if there will be no for loop, then your computer system will execute your computer system will execute this line, and it will come to this line. Then it is going to repeat, meaning execute this line. After doing this, it will observe, okay, oh my god, there is a for loop. Again you are going to come to this line. So there is a second type of execution of this or not. First time already executed, again you are coming to this line. So it means that
Oh, yes, sir.
computer system is going to take larger time. It is consuming the resources. Are you following this? Yes or no? Yes, beta. Who asked the question?
Yes, sir.
ओके, रिपीटिशन. अभी किसी काम को आपको बोलूंगा कि ये आपको असाइनमेंट एक बार करना है, आप बोलोगे ओके सर. पूछूंगा कितना टाइम लगा, आप बोलोगे सर 1 आवर. मैं बोलूंगा इस असाइनमेंट को जो है अभी 20 टाइम्स रिपीट करो सेम को, क्या बोलोगे? सर 1 आवर लग रहा है. फ्रीक्वेंसी
Yes,
बढ़
sir.
गई.
Yes, sir.
काम तो सेम ही कर रहे हो. अरे भाई काम सेम कर रहे हो तो, लेकिन रिपीटेशन भी तो बढ़ा दिया, 20 आवर्स लग गया. So that is the meaning. Okay. Anyways, so this is what I think we are done with today, because time you have to join the other class also. So that's what for today. We'll analyze some other operations, other ways that how we are going. I am just taking. So what are the other ways to analyze the algorithm? That is the operation counting algorithm. We will discuss it tomorrow, and gradually